Good evening. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP. Thank you all for joining us and staying with us till the end. Honorable Knowledge Seeker, today I am your host for the evening. My name is Badhul Das. I am from Dear Knowledge Seeker, I am proud to be associated with IGP. IGP is a social from 450 organization and 4,500 plus organization. Institute of Global Professional is an education institute that provides social work globally recognized and reportable. We serve student community resource providing holistic social work and education. We believe that it's not effective to increase one skill just by offering formal education. So we provide effective training and consultation to generate professional generation all over the world. We distribute our services locally, nationally, internationally to student, job seeker, job holder, and also for learner, the respective campus location and distance learning platform. We are an occupational and dependable institute. IGP is one of the famous online institutes from all over the world. Our vision is education is not a business product, it's a part of our human rights. Based on our vision, we are trying to reach all corners of the world for free webinar, seminar, courses, award, quiz competition, mentoring, and counseling, etc. On the other side, we are also trying to offer more than 100 premium services for free, like Create Own Portfolio website, Resume Builder, Cover Letter, Motivation Letter, and Wow Knowledge platform for gathering general knowledge which can upgrade all day. Kids learning game, website, free course, combat sites, and many more. We help to empower you to learn to meet their expectation and dream and become highly skilled people. We implement several training program, webinar, and offline online courses for youth and learner by professional trainer, speaker, and coaches. Our sessions are conducted by globally renowned professionals to develop all kind of youth and to promote the education of their abilities and personalities. Spreading knowledge is crucial for the state of global professional. We believe that knowledge is love and light and vision. So we try to understand the needs of today's generation and will serve them with good research and practice method. We must have a genuine concept for the learner we represent. More diversity, growth, and innovation are required to lead a session with professionalism, passion, and integrity. IGP members are committed to offering effective best quality service and continual improvement so that individuals who seek information can improve their skill level and value. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. So support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. So support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Moving to the next with your continuous support. We already completed 1,766 webinars successfully. Moving to the next with your continuous support. We already completed 1,766 webinars successfully. Dear IGP speaker, participant, and well wisher, at this moment, this is a very important message for you all. We change and design our website www.eduigp.com. On this website, we have surprise for everyone. Hope you will be benefited. We already launched a new website where you can find all our previous activities together with lots of new features. But one strong point is that without an account or logged in, you cannot enjoy our service. So create your account for once with profile information. Note that With profile information, you'll enjoy our feature. With mismatch data, you cannot not do anything here. From now, you have to join live quiz competition on our website. We replace that. You have to join directly on our website. Now you can check all of our previous webinars with verified certificate. Now it's easier and time limited because after the session, we will not provide you any code for certification. You have to take part in one exam. After that, if you pass, you will receive your certificate, otherwise not. But you can take part in an exam unlimited till you pass. If you're an IGP speaker, you can download all your previous certificate, speakership certificate. If you're a host, if you're an online live quiz competition winner, you can download a certificate of participation. If you're selected for a lifetime membership, then you can download a certificate of lifetime membership easily. Besides this, if you participate in any award function which organizes common support with IGP, you can download that also. You can instantly prepare and download 18 types of using certificate from our website. Certificate of Global Professional Membership, Certificate of Global Includes Independent Certificate of Active Knowledge, Certificate of Social Act 2021 and 2022, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 1, Augmenting Assessment in Teaching and Learning, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 2. Teaching English as a foreign language and assessment, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 3, Digital Classroom Engagement Tools, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 4, the new trend in education. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 5, AP Skill or Social Leadership and Managerial Skills, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 6, Trend and Innovation in Mathematics Education, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 7, Research and Comprehension Approach, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 8, Art in Teaching Special Programming Art, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 9, 21st Century Tool in Teaching Mathematics, Certificate of IGP Corporate Ambassador, Certificate of IGP Campus Ambassador, which you can prepare and download within a minute. From now on, you can participate in 1000 plus international level quiz with verified e-certificate. Teaching tips for teacher, health tips for parents, health tips for teachers, simplification tools for teacher. You can join IGP alumni and check our service website for free and many more. Dear IGP will be sure we promised previously, but lack of technical problem, we are late sending on time. This is great opportunity collected previous condition. We solved all issue from your website. Now you can enroll, reset password, everything, and check it delivered for all email details. Today, let's just check our button and pages on our website. Share, like, and say will benefited. Thank you, but note that without an account or logged in, you cannot enjoy our service. At present, we are going to start our 1767 webinar, which name is Rubric Design in Assignment, and today guest name is Dr. Shobhik Ganguly. He is from India. To share a little bit about him. Assistant Professor, Department of Electrical and Instrumentals Engineering, Thapar University of Engineering and Technology. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with his presentation. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with his presentation. Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Sir, the stage is here. You can start your presentation now.
Okay, fine. So once again, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to the participants of IGP. We are here to present today on rubric design in assessment. Plenty of you like me who are part of this education system, who are always evaluating the students, but there will be some, I'd like to throw some light on the topic of how will you design and how will you implement rubric for your assessment in various components, be it assignments, be it some sessionals, be it some quizzes, or likewise. If you want to take any presentation or any seminars, so for which, how will you design the corresponding rubric as well? So I'll be taking you through that what you understand by a rubric, what is the need of the rubric. Then we'll talk about what are the key features of a rubric. Why should we use rubric, or what are the benefits of using a rubric? And then we'll talk about how to design really a rubric, and how to implement that rubric to assess your students as well. So, myself, Dr. Shobhik Ganguly, I'm serving as an assistant professor at the Department of Electrical and Instrumentation Engineering at Thapar Institute of Engineering and Technology, Patiala. And I'll be taking you through the next 1.5 hours on rubric design in assessment. So first of all, what do you understand by a rubric? A rubric is basically a structured and systematic tool for assessment or for evaluating the performance or the evaluating the quality or evaluating the achievement in a particular task or in a particular assignment. So you should set certain criteria to evaluate the performance levels or some descriptors in terms of a scoring scale. Usually, the common notion is from 1 to 3 scale or 1 to 5 scale, in which we normally evaluate our students. So basically, we need to demarcate or rather provide a clear objective or clear guideline for assessing our students, for grading our students on their various works. Say for example, they are doing some project work, they are doing some presentations or seminars, or they have been assigned some particular task where some quantitative evaluation has to be taken. uh, when we talk about the key components, we talk about first of all the criteria in which the student is being evaluated. So it basically is a standard on which the performance of the students are being evaluated or measured. So what is expected in a particular assignment, or what is expected in a particular project, or what are the criteria by on virtue of which we are going to assess the students, that are equally important. So several dimensions of the work, be it a project work. Say for example, in engineering we come across capstone project, so that are evaluated through several panels of but there has to be some certain consistent rubric to evaluate the project work. Say, for example, the hardware component or the simulation part, be talking about presentation skills, talking about the seminars that they present, their cost analysis that they make in their entire project, the design process, basically how they have designed that particular project, step by step design of the project. So all these things are evaluated through several criteria. So there are certain aspects or specific aspects by virtue of which the dimensions of that particular work are being assessed. Then we must set certain performance levels or certain descriptors. Say, for example, uh, the work is excellent, or the work is satisfactory, or the performance is unsatisfactory. So, corresponding to each scale, excellent, very good, good, average, satisfactory, and below average or unsatisfactory, finally, a very poor performance. So we have some descriptive language. So this has to be converted into certain levels of achievement, which we do usually some scoring scale. So basically, criteria that we set that are based on certain performance levels, and based on which some scoring criteria, common numerical that we usually set is on a scale of 5. So 1 to 5 scale, so we can have descriptors like excellent, good, fair, poor, average, something of that sort. So scoring scale will help you to quantify or provide you with the ranking of the student based on his or her performance. Now, what are the benefits of having these kind of rubrics? So, first of all, it should give me a clarity that what we are expecting from a student. So rubrics will give you a clear and detailed criteria that what is expected in a particular assessment, be it of a project, be it of a seminar, be it of a essay that you have given. So this will help both the evaluators as well as the students understand the standard of performance, that how even from the point of view of the students, the rubrics, if they are specified that these are the rubrics for the students, they are also able to perform according to the standards, or they can elevate their standards and they can perform to the extent so that they can score as maximum in each and every component that they are being evaluated on. Apart from that, when we talk about the benefits of rubric we often come across consistency. So there must be some uh, assessors or different assessors or different grading sessions. So this will basically, if you are able to consistently grade using the rubrics that are predefined, so we are able to ensure some fairness or some unbiasedness in our evaluation scheme. Apart from that, of course, rubrics will allow you to offer some constructive feedback, so students can exactly know that whether they have excelled in a particular field or whether they require some improvement as well. This will facilitate their learning process as well. So this gives an opportunity from the student point of view to express their views or to give some constructive feedback based on which your students can able to improve upon their learning process. Learning outcomes, when we talk about or outcome based education, we are obviously expecting some learning outcomes from the students. So when the students understand their criteria for their assessment, they are likely, it's quite likely that they are to focus on the learning rather than specific skills or knowledge. So what is the outcome? That is, if this it is known to them through the different assessment criteria, of course this will improve their performance as well. Efficiency in grading, this is another important benefit. So we are basically streamlining the grading process. So of course, being teachers, educators, we can quickly evaluate the or assess the students based on certain predefined criteria. This saves the time and the effort engaged by the educators, by the teachers to evaluate the students as well. Alignment of the objectives. So whatever assessments or whatever rubrics are designed, they should be aligned with the learning objectives, and they should be aligned in turn with the goals and or the course or the curriculum they that are studying. So this alignment will ensure the validity of the assignments as well. Apart from that, this gives an opportunity for us to uh, create an environment which will be very much transparent, because the students will be priorly informed about the rubrics that the evaluators are making. So this reduces consequently the anxiety, and you can enhance or motivate your students as well. So transparency in the grading system or transparency in the assessment process makes the students feel that they will be how they will be evaluated, and this reduces their anxiety. This increases their motivation in their work as well. Apart from that, when we talk about data for improvement, so it will be easier for the educators, for the teachers to easily identify the trends and easily identify the errors where the students are struggling. uh, this actually this scale or the scoring level will easily we can plot them in excel, and we can easily see the trend in which the students need improvement, or the students may be struggling in a particular topic, or they say, for example, when we talk about the example of designing a project or something of that sort, there will be might be that students are plenty of times being struggling with the hardware part or the design aspects. They are not able to do the design thoroughly, maintaining the proper standards or something of that sort. So these can be easily backtracked using the generated data or from the rubrics. Rubrics also gives a very good communication between the students, because students are informed at the beginning of the assignment or the beginning of the assessment process, making it more transparent and generating a sense of autonomy to the learning process. So rubrics can easily be shared with the students. So this helps us to improve the communication between the educators and the students as well. Of course, there should be an accountability from the both from the part of the educators to follow the rubrics, as well as the students will be accountable that they are also aware of their idea or criteria on which they will be evaluated. So students are expected to meet those criteria, and also the educators are already aware of of their criteria that they have defined earlier for the assessment of the assignment or project work. Apart from that, when we are going for a professional development, educators can use the rubrics to evaluate their own teaching methods at certain times, and their own assessment strategies, and this also helps in the continuous improvement of the educators as well. Just as I told you about transparency, also rubrics will ensure fairness in the assessment or the fairness in the evaluation process, so that the students are being evaluated based on the same criteria. So this reduces the potential for any bias or any discrimination on the part of the students. Once we discussed about this thing regarding the benefits of what we are expecting from rubrics, we'll shortly discuss about the different types of rubrics now, and after that we will actually discuss with you that how will you design your own rubric, what are the steps, and finally we'll go into the process of implementation of that particular rubric. So first of all, we'll talk about the first type of rubric that we talk about is the analytic rubric. So basically, as the name implies, so this gives you an assessment or the breakdown for evaluating certain specific criteria, or we can also evaluate each criteria separately. So this will give us a detailed feedback on each part of the work. This will help us to understand comprehensively the complete rubrics, and these are often used when there are multiple dimensions of performance. So each dimension of the performance has to be evaluated separately. Say for example, I am evaluating some students based on the performance on of their presentation. So we are going to look at certain three criteria like communication skill, how they are able to present, what is the body language, and at the same time what they can deliver. And based on the delivery, normally the panel which sits in the seminar or the presentation part, they are normally going to ask some questions. So it also shows the preparedness of the students to answer some viva voce along with. So how they are prepared for the viva voce, or how they are able to answer or get the different dimensions. Of course, in a project work, there are of course several rubrics or several dimensions of performance that are assessed separately. Not only a presentation is a part of that particular rubric, but also it involves certain basic designs, what they have used, what mathematical models they have developed, how they have assembled the things, what is the design process involved, how they have been able to make the system more cost effective part, how they have able to assess the cost of the particular device that they are going to develop, and of course the hardware topology that they have. So these are the several multiple dimensions of performance that are evaluated separately. And if you are to break down this particular assessment, this particular assignment, or this particular evaluation into certain specific criteria, that this we are going to evaluate for presentation, this assessment will be there for the hardware design, this particular assessment will be there for the preparedness of the students or the candidates who are presenting before a panel of examiners, or likewise. Next comes holistic rubrics. This is basically judging the overall quality of the performance of the work as a whole. Say, for example, a project which is going on for a semester or 2 semesters, or likewise, that has to be judged for the quality purpose. So there will be a single overall score or the single overall rating of that particular entire task. So this is particularly useful for getting an overall impression. Say for example, at the end of the project work for going on for a year or going on for a semester, or a mini project that has been performed in a semester, uh, or any assignment that has been completed in a semester or a two semester project, minor project likewise. So these type of things, that how they are overall graded, say for example, based on some analytic rubrics that they have there, how they have performed overall, whether they can be categorized as A or A plus or A minus or even B or B plus or something of that sort. So these type of grading or this type of scoring overall, based on the entire task, based on the entire project work, based on the entire minor project, based on the entire assessment, or based on the entire seminars. So overall impression, basically, when we are talking about, then we are going for holistic rubrics. Next comes a single point rubrics. So we have some criteria, or we have some descriptors for each level of performance, but we are not including any scoring value or any numbering or labeling to that. So basically, we are classifying based on certain descriptors at each level of performance. Say, for example, we are evaluating any assessment, whether you want to evaluate in terms of excellent, very good, good, average, satisfactory, and unsatisfactory, or something of that sort. So if such type of decisions are there, which are merely descriptors, but instead you are not including any scoring level, or you are not including any numbering system, or 1 to 5 scale, or 1 to 3 scale, or likewise. So basically it is expected that at each level, without assigning any particular score, we are judging a student. So these we are referring as single point rubrics. These are sometimes very useful, and these are often flexible as well, and we can encourage some qualitative assessment in the process using the single point rubrics as well. So this is another interesting rubric set that we normally design. Next comes a checklist rubric. So this is basically a simple, based on a list of criteria. So say for example, you set certain criteria for certain basic tasks that are being performed, and based on whether they are completed, rather than on the quality of the work. So basically they are very easy to understand, very easy to use. So simply we will create a checklist, whether they have completed the simulation part, they have designed, they have used necessary mathematical models. So if you are ticking them, if you are filling the check boxes, likewise if you create certain criteria based on whether they have completed, rather than focusing on the quality of the work, we are going for the checklist rubric. Sometimes these are also essential. Say for example, students are going on for an internship, and they are being evaluated by different set of persons. The industry persons are there, the faculty mentors are also evaluating the students through some discussion sessions, or through some seminars, presentations, panel of examiners. So rather than whether they say for example, they have completed certain basic months in the training, so there is a checklist. So obviously we can go in for the checklist rubrics as well, that has to be meeting the basic tasks that has been assigned to the students. Say they are supposed to do one or two or three projects out there in the industries, working for 4 to 6 months. So the minimum stay is 4 months. So whether they have qualified for the minimum stay at the industry, whether they have been able to fulfill one or two projects, maybe two projects are compulsory for them to perform. So likewise, so if that are fulfilled, so we can check mark them, we can provide a checklist, based on which some rubrics are being set, which we are calling as the checklist rubrics as well. As a name implies, we are not going to give any qualitative impressions like excellent, good, fair, poor. Likewise, we are going to assign them scores on a 1 to 5 scale, or 1 to 3 scale, or sometimes on a scale of 10 as well. 1 to 10 scales are also sometimes required. So how satisfied you are, say for example, you are talking about certain customer survey, and how satisfied we are based on the survey. So we sometimes always rate a particular customer's service as well. So we do not mark them as excellent, good, or fair, or poor, or something of that sort. We mark them on a scale of 1 to 5. So basically it is a quantitative measure for your performance, and they are the commonly used grading, for grading of assignments, for grading of different assessments of seminars, projects, assignments, everything. So these are the commonly used rubrics, whatever we have talked about so far. So numeric rubrics are very popular, and they are put numerical, they are put some numerical labels for assigning certain scores to different levels of performance based on the criteria that they meet. Another important part is descriptive rubrics. Making some written descriptions or giving some narratives. So basically, it is another qualitative part to explain the expectations of the performance of the student. So sometimes it is required to give offer a detailed or a qualitative feedback without assigning some numerical scores to the students. So these are often used for formative assessment and feedback purpose. So sometimes descriptive rubrics are also part of our education system as well. Another is task specific. So we had been discussing, so there are some overlaps as well. So we had been discussing that there is a checklist rubric. Here we are talking about task specific rubrics. So if student is assigned some 8 or 10 tasks, and if they are able to fulfill certain tasks, they will be some uh, customization for a particular assignment or a particular project work, for a particular assessment. So these will be tailored based on the context of the thing. So they should be aligned with the specific learning objectives. They should be also fulfilling certain requirements of the tasks that are there, that are being performed. So this is another way of understanding the task specific rubrics as well. General rubrics. So of course, when we are talking about several rubrics, we had to come to a certain one conclusion. So for which various types of assessments or various types of assignments are being performed, there are certain things that we go for absolute grading, we go for relative grading based on the performance of the peer learners. There are certain task specific that are more generalized framework for assessment or evaluation. So general rubrics are very much useful when we are evaluating a range of work, and within a course or a program we are evaluating. So basically, general rubrics can be there as a part of grading your curriculum or any particular course as well. But when we are going for any assignment or any assessment, you can design your own rubric as well. So these are the different types of rubrics that we talked about just now. We had been discussing about what is a rubric, what are the key criteria for a rubric, and finally we have moved on into the different types of rubrics. We have exposed you with different types of rubrics. Now we'll go into the design aspects of a rubric, that how you can design your own rubric based on what type of rubrics that we have discussed. And finally comes that how will I implement your how would you implement your rubric as well. So we will be talking about how to design a particular rubric. First of all, we need to know that what is the purpose of our rubric, defining your purpose. So you must clarify the purpose of creating a particular rubric. So what are you assessing, why are you assessing, and what should be the my target audience whom you are assessing. So you must ensure alignment with your program or your learning objective of the course or the program's learning objective are uh, defining the purpose of the rubric will clarify or will be able to that what you are assessing and why you are assessing and which students or what is your target audience that you are assessing. Then you once the purpose is defined, you can identify the criteria. So you determine certain specific criteria, certain specific aspects of the work that you need to assess from that particular assignment or a particular project. And of course this must align to the learning objectives and the nature of the assignment, whether it is a descriptive essay, whether the students are supposed to deliver something new on the project or something of that sort. Then the next step is to create the descriptors. So for each criteria that you set, you develop some clear and specific descriptors. Say for example, you want to have it in the form of certain qualitative, means that excellent, proficient, basic, unsatisfactory. So how each level that you determine for the assessment of your assignment or your seminar presentation or your project work or something of that sort. Then you decide on the scoring scale. Say for example, excellent, how much you mark, whether you want to mark it high or whether you there are two notions, of course. uh, Preferably you go for a marking excellent level as 5 on a 5 scale, and we mark usually poor or very poor if you want to have on a low scale of 1. So you need to ensure that based on the descriptors that you set, you decide on a scoring scale as well. Then you must assign certain weightage to certain events as well. Say for example, each criteria that you set must carry certain weightage. So here also I'll take an example of a project where there are several aspects of the project. Say for example, you have to prepare a report of the project. You have to present that particular project in front of a panel of examiners. Your student is preparing or developing certain designs, or hardware design or software simulations that they are carrying out. So there are several criteria on which you have to assess. So how much weightage that you give to your corresponding criteria, that is equally important as well. So you must assign certain weights or certain percentages to each and every criteria. Say for example, I am evaluating a student on a project that carries 100 marks, say for example. So how much will you assign for the project report that they make, based on certain criteria, of course, sub criteria as well. How much marks are you assigning, or how much weightage you are assigning to your presentation before a panel of examiners? How much weightage do you want to keep in terms of the simulation or the design process, right? How much weightage that you want to keep for the final hardware design, and how much is it that some minor weightage that you want to keep for the cost effective design of the process as well. Now time to organize your rubric, means we need to structure it with clear headings for each of the criteria, each performance levels, each descriptor, and prepare a table or a grid format for better understanding of the evaluators as well. So you might not be the single evaluator, there may be a panel of evaluators, there may be a panel of examiners who are evaluating. So you have to organize the rubric in a tabular format for a better clarity on the evaluation panel as well. Then of course, when we are talking about uh, ensuring that your criteria or your descriptors are not ambiguous, or they are absolutely clear, so you must review your rubric to understand, to ensure the consistency in the language and the expectations that you want to have. You can also have a group discussion with the panel of examiners as well, for a quick review of the uh, clarity as well as the consistency of your rubric that has been designed. Now, of course, when the weightages are fixed for each of the criteria, you must include a total score calculation. Say, for example, I'm evaluating on a project, and that is of, say, 100 marks or 50 marks or something of that sort. So, you are finally going to include a particular section where all the total score is being calculated based on the criteria and based on the weightages, of course. So this will give you an overall assessment, and by virtue of which you can, of course, grade a student as well. You can also go for pilot testing, of course. Before you make a formal announcement of your assessment criteria, you can consider it as a sample work to identify any issues, or whether you can improve upon. You can discuss with your peer group, you can discuss with your colleagues, you can discuss with your students for giving some constructive feedback based on the rubric that you have created, and whether they require any improvisation or something of that sort. Revise, of course, if the pilot test that you have carried out, you have received certain comments, and in order to make it more effective and more alignment should be there with the assessment goals, you may go for the revision of it as well. So it includes clear instructions, of course, and how the rubric can be used, how when it will be applied, any specific expectations for the assessment process, etc. So these type of things can be carried out. That once you are able to revise, or once you pilot test the rubric, and finally you have finalized your rubric, and it should be circulated to the students, it should be circulated to the panel of evaluators as well, to make the expectations of the assessment process as well. And now you can share with your students, of course. You can share the rubrics with the students for completing or assigning a particular task, and this helps also the students to assess your assessment criteria and what are the expectations of the panel of evaluators. And of course, you have to also train your evaluators or train your assessors as well if multiple assessors are involved. So you must provide a training in order to ensure the consistency and the accuracy in applying a particular rubric as well, and understand properly the weightage that has been assigned to each of the criteria or each of the descriptors as well. And of course, you can now use and evaluate based on the rubric that you develop. Of course, you can go in for assessments or evaluations, and you can also continuously assess its effectiveness if there is some meaningful feedback, or some fairness is lacking in the grading process. So you can of course nurture and change your rubrics slightly. And of course, time to time feedback, encouraging feedback from the students as well as from the evaluators will also help to improve the rubrics clarity and usefulness, making it more and more transparent, making it more and more consistent and accurate as well. And of course, the willingness to improve the things based on the feedback must always be there. So we have completed the part that how to design practically a rubric, and how to assess them, how to take feedback from the students, how to take the feedback from the assessors, to further improvise upon how to assign some weightage to the different set of tasks or different set of events that undergo through any project or any seminar or any evaluation part process. So now we are actually going to implement the rubrics in the assessment process. So how can do that? First of all, we can of course distribute once our rubrics are being made. It is easy for us to provide the rubrics to the students before assigning them any task or any project or any mini project or any minor project likewise. So this will help them to understand the expectations from the beginning, right from the beginning, and the assessment criteria is known to the students beforehand. Apart from that, if there are multiple evaluators or multiple assessors, we must always ensure a training process to the so that your assessors are constantly familiar with the rubrics and they understand that how to apply it accurately and provide some training if it is required. Apart from that, we go for evaluating the work. When we are going for evaluating a particular project or a particular seminar or a particular presentation or even some assignment, we must use the rubric as a guide, right? So we must ensure that each and every criteria is being examined thoroughly, and we must ensure that a level of the performance of the students as well, which best fits for each and every criteria. And of course we must record the scores or the ratings based on each of the tasks that are being performed by the students, or a certain learning outcomes that has to be evaluated or something of that sort, so that we must ensure that the scores are reflected accurately based on the level of achievement of each and every criteria as well. So, descriptors are, of course, there in the rubric to provide specific and constructive feedback to the students as well, because we can show them the necessary descriptors, that these are the descriptors that has been used in the rubrics. So they have received a particular score, and we must also provide some suggestions for further improvement if they are at an average level or a below average level or an unsatisfactory level as well. So we must always ensure consistency in all the assessment process. So this will ensure unbiasedness or fairness in the judgment or objectivity in the grading process as well. Of course, when we are implementing the rubric, of course, we must come into the total score calculation. So based on which some grading are to be allotted to the students as well. So we must compute the overall assessment score based on the several sections that are involved in a project or involved in a presentation or something of that sort. Finally, document your assessment. So of course, when you are including the rubric scores, make certain comments or feedback provided to the student, so that some documentation is essential for maintaining the transparency or maintaining the accountability with respect to the students as well. Of course, when the grading process or the total evaluation score is being complete, of course, we can communicate the results to the students, so we can share it with the rubric scores and the feedback that your assessors have given you. How the rubric was used, that should be very much clear to the students, and then you reflect and review. So once the rubric is being implemented, devote certain time to reflect on its effectiveness, whether it is providing some meaningful feedback, or whether it is aligned to the assessment goals, and if there is any scope of improvement further, so review it continuously to further improve the process. Of course, you can gather the feedback both from the students point of view, or as well as from the evaluators regarding the rubric, and check its clarity, check its usefulness, check its consistency and accuracy as well. So if there is some refinement required for future use, we can always use this as a feedback. And we must ensure that our rubrics are to maintain the transparency in the assessment process. So students also must understand that how the rubric was applied and why they have received a particular score, if the score is average or low, or even a good, or there is some chance for improvement further as well. So we must ensure transparency with respect to the improvement in the learning process as well. Apart from that, we must ensure to address any questions or any concerns that the students may have based on their assessment. Sometimes students are not always 100% satisfied with their progress of work, or their project work or something. They feel that they require certain uh, ambiguities are there which has to be clarified. So if that is required, of course, provide or clarify the students if there are any ambiguities in the rubric process, if there is a necessity of such things. Of course, using the rubric data for further improvement, so you have to analyze the data. So how is the score or how is the performance of the class based on the assessment that you have taken, and whether you have been able to identify the trends or the areas where the students are needs improvement or not. So using that particular information, we can always convey it to the students for their further development, for their further improvements as well. Now, there are some certain challenges as well. While defining certain clear criteria, it must be, we are telling that it must be specific, it must be clear, it must align with the learning objectives. Sometimes it can be challenging as well. So, if the criteria is not clear, if it is not, if it is vague or if it is ambiguous, sometimes this leads to confusion in the assessment process as well, the evaluation process as well. So, when we are balancing between specificity and flexibility, we are striking the balancing between the several descriptors that we are using for evaluating the level of performance, and also allowing flexibility in the diverse work. Sometimes it can be tricky as well. So you may not be able to account for the unique aspects of the student work sometimes. Subjectivity, of course, in order to despite making our effort to make our rubrics objective, some level of subjectivity can be there when we are using some qualitative descriptors. You may have assessors, or different assessors or different evaluators are there. There is a panel of examiners which may interpret the criteria differently as well. Some may be ignorant. Some may be even overlooking the criteria that are set for that particular rubric as well. uh, you must ensure that there should be a accurate and the consistent scoring, despite the fact that there are multiple assessors. This can often be a challenge. So some may underrate a student, some may overrate a particular student based on his or her performance as well. So sometimes it becomes really difficult for the final grading purpose as well. So sometimes it can be, if you are making a detailed rubric of certain things, it can be a time consuming as well for us, for the educators as well, leading to high overloads. And of course, when we have when we are doing the evaluation process, we are designing for a complex particular task. Multidimensional assessments are there. Sometimes it can be challenging as well. We can always break down that particular task into some manageable criteria without much I think we should try to reduce the complexity of each and every task, and try to break down the work into some small assessments or some evaluations likewise. Avoiding too many criteria or too many levels of performance can also uh, puzzle your evaluators, puzzle your students as well. So maintain a right balance to make the rubrics which are usable and which are doable as well. So multiple descriptors or multiple levels in the assessment process can sometimes be very much difficult for the students to understand, and sometimes very difficult for the evaluators to evaluate as well. Alignment with the learning objectives. Of course, your rubric must be designed in such a way that the learning objectives or the learning outcomes must be met. So misalignment can lead to some inaccurate assessments as well. So when we are going for a new rubric design, or when we are going for the implementation of a rubric system, of course there a challenge must be there with the educators as well as the students who are not familiar with them. So of course they can object you, they can resist you, they can put you down sometimes in order to make the evaluation process much more complicated as well. So we have to go in with such sort of things that may happen, both from the educator's point of view as well as from the student point of view as well. So lack of training. So basically, if you are not being able to declare your evaluators with the training of the particular rubric that you what we are effectively, there may be some inconsistency in the application or misinterpretation in the certain criteria as well. Rubric adaptation, of course, we need to get adapted to different types of assessment criteria or different types of disciplines while maintaining the consistency. This can sometimes be challenging as well. So different subjects are there. Each and every subject requires some different criteria or different descriptors as well. Sometimes the choice of the rubric may not be, or the type of the rubric may not be fruitful on a particular criteria or a particular descriptor, may not be useful. So adaptation to different types of rubrics must always be there. uh, of course, weightage assessment of weightage are appropriate criteria that are set for the different parts of a project work, or different parts of any assessment. Sometimes this can be challenging as well. So balancing the weightage part or assigning appropriate weight to the different criteria can sometimes be misleading as well. Of course, a revision is of course required, and continuously revising or improving the rubrics based on the feedback received or based on the changing assessment needs. This can be a challenge sometimes as well. So of course, there is of course scope for further improvement as well. So of course, these topics can go on endlessly, and finally, we are to conclude our discussion today based on certain things that rubric design in any assessment, in any evaluation, is a dynamic and essential component of our education system. So we have to embrace all the challenges, commitment to some ongoing improvement. We have to take out the benefits of the rubrics, and that's why the educators are there, who can, like us, we can create assessment process that will be fair, that will be transparent, and that would be conducive to the student success as well. So with this, I wind up my today's session uh, on rubric design for different assessment criteria. So we have talked about what is a rubric. We have talked about the key features of a rubric. We have talked about the benefits of using a rubric. We have already discussed about uh, the different types of rubrics, maybe qualitative or quantitative, of something of that sort. And after that, we have gone through the design process of a rubric, that how we can design a beautiful rubric for some assessment of a project work, a minor project work, or any presentation or anything of that sort that you would like to do in your in education or in your discipline as well. And then how we can implement that particular rubric. And after that, we talked about certain challenges that you may face on shaping a new or designing a new rubric as well. So finally, it is we are concluding today, and I hope that there will be some interesting questions to follow. Over to you, IGP, for any questions, any improvisations that are required.
Thank you so much, sir, for your rich content presentation, which can impact our knowledge seeker surely. After your presentation, I hope our knowledge seeker can learn something new, which was our only intention. Learn and grow together, IGP knowledge seeker. Once again, thank you so much, sir, for your presentation. Now, sir, it's time for our question answer session, which is the one more valuable part of our regular webinar. Honorable sir, please stay with us. After a short video, we'll be back in our session part 2, which is the question answer part. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. participant, dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Sir, our first question is from Bhalmurga. What's the bad effect of AI in rubies?
Okay. So AI is creating some several benefits to us in design and assessments in various fields, and including rubrics as well. So why not design an AI-based rubric? So of course, AI systems are usually trained on certain various amounts of data, and when we are that particular data which we are doing, that may be biased. So of course, some decision making process that we are developing out of AI, they can be biased sometimes. Second is AI may not be able to interpret and evaluate the subjective criteria that are there in the rubrics as well. There should be some lack of contextual understanding that may be there. These type of things can be there, of course. And when we are talking about AI, we are automating the several things, so overly reliance on the automation part can be also be there. And some privacy and security concerns can be there, because while implementing AI in rubrics, they may involve collecting some data or analyzing some student data, which can raise concerns about privacy and security as well. So if they're not handled properly, a sensitive student information can be more vulnerable and to data breaches or misusing the data as well. And of course, we have time and again being too much dependent upon or too much reliant on the technology as well. So this might lead to decreased ability to assess and evaluate as well. So always you cannot rely upon AI to design your rubric for you as well. So it is also crucial to ensure that your implementation of AI in rubrics have to be carefully taken into and regularly revised, audited, or something of that sort. And of course, they can be supplemented, but they can never replace human beings as well in designing the rubrics. That's all
Thank you
from
so
my
much,
side.
sir, for your answer. Sir, there is no more questions from our participants. So once again, thank you so much, sir, for your time in IGP. We have learned a lot from you with new topic. It will add some value to our day-to-day activity along with our academic and professional goal. Honorable sir, hope to see you again with a new topic and a new date. Thank you, sir. Take care. Honorable sir, before we move to the next, if you want to leave this studio, you can. Dear IGP Narasek is time for the webinar certification process, the most effective and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. Dear IGP Narasek is time for the webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. certification process. Visit www.radioigp.com. Please make sure your presence on our website. Find an institution and get enrolled. After watching complete part 1, move to the next, which is learning test, passing mark 80%. If passed, back to the course target to download the certificate. If failed to retake the quiz. Download the certificate in PDF or JPG. For your attention, I'm going to share the procedure again. Visit www.radioigp.com. Please make sure your presence on our website. While running session and get enroll. After watching complete part 1, move to the next with the learning test passing mark 80%. If passed, back to the course again to download your certificate. If failed to retake the quiz. Download your certificate in PDF or JPG. Dear IGP knowledge guys, time for the most engaging part of this webinar, which is an online quiz competition, which is our regular webinar activity. Now time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. Now, time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. For some technical problem, we cannot continue the quiz session from our website. So to join the quiz session, you have to go www.slido.com and the code is 1483933. I repeat the code 1483933. After a short video, we will start our quiz session. With 23 people, we are going to start our quiz session right now. First question is, do you need to complete a rubric for the assignment task you design in your PBL website? Is it true or false? Option 1 is the right answer. 83% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Alex is holding the first position. Our second question is, which step comes first in rubric design? Option 1, writing descriptors. Option 2, determining the criteria for the L objects. Option 2 is the right answer. 100% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Alex is holding the first position. Our third question is, teachability and scoreability are key factor in rubric design. Is it true or false? Option 1 is the right answer. 100% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Emily is holding the first position. Our fourth question is, a rubric belongs in stage 2 of all Sales unit design template. Option 1 true, option 2 false. Option 1 is the right answer. 84% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Christiana is holding the first position. Our fifth question is, which one is not the CATS design portfolio assignment rubric? Option 1, effective communication and technical competency. Option 2, line unit and creativity. Option 2 is the right answer. 60% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Liutrim is holding the first position. Our sixth question is on robot design. What item gets the highest point in rubric judging? Option 1, limited understanding of robot design. Option 2, initiative, robot design and programs. Option 2 is the right answer. 88% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Flomi is holding the first position. Our seventh question is on robot design. What item gets the highest point in rubric judging? Option 1, clean understanding to robot design. Option 2, effective use of advanced programs. Option 2 is the right answer. 44% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Kingway is holding the first position. Our eighth question is beginning, developing, accomplished, and exemplary are used in the robot design rubric. 2. Option 1, describe the terms failure in robot design. Option 2, describe the teams accomplished in robot design. Option 2 is the right answer. 100% people are right here. The leaderboard, Evelyn is holding the first position. Our second last question of the session is, using your rubric, give a step 2 in the design process 1, the appreciate score. Option 1, 1, option 2, 2. Option 2 is the right answer. 84% people are right here in the leaderboard. Kingway is holding the first position. Our last and final question of the session is beginning, developing, and accomplish and exemplary are used in the robot design rubric. 2. Option 1, describe the team's failure in robot design. Option 2, describe the team's accomplishment in robot design. Option 2 is the right answer. 96% people are right here. Congratulations to our online quiz competition winner top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finding the result. After that, we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. Congratulations to our online quiz competition winner top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result. After that, we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. Congratulations to our online quiz competition winner top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result. After that, we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on our official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. At the end of our session, we can say properly feed your skill. Never stop learning, first life, never stop teaching us. Be happy, stay safe. See you again and again. We want your participation in every program. If you want to live a happy life, try to a goal, not a people or things. Albert Einstein. Before I say or hit the end like button, I want to thank all IGP knowledge seekers for your active participation as always. See you again in the next session. Thank you.